3 days. That's how long Anthropic's most powerful AI survived in the wild. The US government had helped test it, signed off on the launch, and let it ship. 72 hours later, the same government ordered it pulled offline for every single customer on the planet. This is the story of how Claude Fable 5 was approved, and then killed. Start with June 9, 2026. Anthropic releases Claude Fable 5, alongside its larger sibling, Mythos 5. These were, by the company's own account, the most capable models it had ever built, a real jump in reasoning and in reading and writing code. For 3 days, anyone could use them. Then everything changed. And here's the part that makes what follows so strange. This was not a company sneaking a model out the door. Anthropic says it worked with government agencies to test Fable 5 before release, and received approval to deploy it. The people who would later pull the plug were, by Anthropic's account, in the room for the green light. The approval and the shutdown came from the same side. 3 days. That's the entire gap between a government approval and a government order to shut it all down. Not 3 months of warning signs. Not a review period. 72 hours. To understand how that happens, you have to look at what landed on Anthropic's desk on the evening of June 12. June 12, 5:21 in the evening, Eastern Time. A directive arrives from the Commerce Department's Bureau of Industry and Security, the arm that controls exports of sensitive technology, under the signature of Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. It is not a polite request. It's a formal export control order with no expiration date, and it names Fable 5 and Mythos 5 directly. The order is sweeping. Anthropic must suspend access to both models by any foreign national, whether they're outside the United States or sitting inside it, including the company's own foreign national employees. There's no clean way to wall those users off one by one in real time, so Anthropic does the only thing it can: it disables Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for every customer worldwide. No advance notice. No detailed public explanation. The first time the US has ever switched off a frontier model after launch. Here's the timeline that matters. June 9th, the models launch. Around June 11th, researchers at Amazon, Anthropic's own biggest investor, start probing Fable 5. June 12th, the directive lands. And that same day, the models go dark. Whatever Amazon found in the middle of that window is the spark for everything else. What they found was a jailbreak. According to reporting, Amazon researchers used a series of prompts to get Fable 5 to hand over information that could help with cyberattacks. Amazon's chief executive, Andy Jassy, took that straight to senior officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. A safety demo inside one company became a national security conversation inside the White House almost overnight. And the government's stated worry went beyond a single exploit. Commerce Secretary Lutnick framed it as a national security risk that a model this capable, with a known jailbreak, could be turned by military or intelligence users in China, Russia, or other countries of concern into a tool for real harm. Right or wrong, that's the logic an export control is built for, and it's why this didn't go through the usual AI policy channels. So you've got two stories colliding. Anthropic's side: you helped test this, you approved it, then you killed it with no notice and no detailed reason, using an order so broad it benched our own staff. The government's side: the jailbreak was real, the misuse risk is real, and a model that can be talked into helping an attack doesn't get to stay live just because it's impressive. Both of those can be true at once, and that's exactly why it got ugly. The administration's framing of the standoff is blunt. As officials tell it, they asked Anthropic's chief executive, Dario Amodi, to either fix the jailbreak or take the model down himself. He didn't, on their timeline, and so, In their telling, the shutdown is the consequence of Anthropic's own choice, not an act of government aggression. Anthropic sees an overbroad order it had no chance to answer. Same room, two completely different memories. So where does it stand right now? Still dark. Nearly 2 weeks on, Fable 5 and Mythos 5 remain offline, and Anthropic and administration officials are reported to be working toward a deal to bring them back. But nothing here resets on its own. The directive has no expiration, so switching the models back on takes a fresh, deliberate government action, a negotiation, not a clock running out. Here's why this matters even if you never touched Fable 5. A government just demonstrated, in public, that it has a kill switch on the most capable models a US company can ship, and that it will use it fast, with no notice. That reshapes how every lab plans a launch. And there's a flip side: every day America's best model sits dark, open rivals abroad, like China's Jipu GLM 5.2, get a clear lane to win the developers who can't wait. So that's the whole strange arc approved at launch, killed 72 hours later, by the same government that signed off. The model didn't get more dangerous in those 3 days. What changed was who decided it was too dangerous to leave on. The frontier of AI just stopped being only a tech story. It's a power story now, about who holds the switch. So I'll put it to you. Was pulling Fable 5 the responsible call on a real security risk, or a dangerous precedent, a government switching off private AI on its own say-so? Tell me where you land in the comments. I'm the Shipyard, I read the directive so you don't have to. Subscribe for no hype AI and developer news, and I'll see you in the next one.